Hi, I'm Alex and I hope you're doing alright. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everyone who liked the page or watched the YouTube video last time. It really means a lot, and I'm glad that even in the midst of this coronavirus stuff I can do something to keep the momentum going with this comedy career, you know. One person who's been hugely supportive of everything I've done so far has been my father. He's even went so far as to start telling people he's my manager, which I didn't agree to, but it seems like a great allegory for the entertainment industry, that someone's trying to take over my career without my knowledge, and in 15 years I might have to deal with that. But no, Dad kind of hit that point that I think all parents hit, where they see their children's lives kind of passing away from them. And quite a lot of people see this and they try to have one last hurrah at being the cool parent, you know, being the one that's down with the kids. For some people, that's taking part in activities or exercise that their kids do. For some people, that's letting 14-year-olds drink in their house, like that's a completely normal thing to do. And for my father, that was sitting down and asking me what type of music I like. Now, music's been a hugely influential part of Dad's life. He was in a band. It's how he made his living for a long time, and he still plays a lot during the weekends. But he was willing to try anything I said to him. So I said, I'm into hip hop. And it's weird, even as I say it, it's weird to hear a white guy say hip hop. It's not as rare as it used to be, it's still a bit fucking weird. But whenever a black American guy says hip hop, it sounds like there's this underground scene that you're not quite privy to. Mostly because you use words like privy. But like when a white guy, when I say hip hop, it just sounds like I'm trying to herd kids into a van, like hip hop, hip hop. You know, but no, I'm into hip hop. I really enjoy it. And Dad was willing to try it, so we sat down and I let him listen to Kendrick Lamar to Pimp a Butterfly. And if any of you know anything about hip hop, you'll know that this is kind of considered a modern masterpiece of the genre. It didn't work. I got hit with the same three complaints everyone who tries to introduce someone to hip hop gets. There's not a tune. What the fuck is he saying? That's not even music. And as I looked at my dad there, trying his best to get involved in my interests, I decided I could go one of two ways. I could take the time to explain to Dad the history of hip hop, about how in the 80s and 90s it gave Black America back its voice in a world that had tried so hard to take it away from them. Or I could make a YouTube video about why I don't give a flying fuck about Dad's opinion. So I went with the second option, clearly. So my dad was born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s, and he really liked punk. Now, punk has this kind of anti-authority, mostly anti-Tory message, which a man who is as deeply Scottish as I am, as deeply Scottish as my family is, I can wholeheartedly get behind. Scotland's the kind of place where you come out of the womb and the doctor just screams at you, fund the NHS! You know? But punk's alright, I'm okay with this. And at that time, Dad had a favourite band. Dad's favourite band was a band called The Alarm. And if you haven't heard of them, don't worry, nobody else has. But yeah, Dad had this favourite band, The Alarm. And they were kind of this glam punk band. I think the highest hit they got in the charts was like number 14, but they're still hugely successful as far as music goes. The mean success in the music industry is incredibly low. Getting to 14th in the top 40 is top 1% of musicians in the world. Yeah, so Dad, this band, the frontman was a man named Mike Peters. And Mike Peters is still fairly relevant in the music industry in Wales, which isn't saying much. Like, there's two things the Welsh know how to do. It's how to sing Bread of Heaven and how exactly not to pronounce the letter L. Mike Peters was the front man of this band, and after many years of following them, Mike Peters got up on stage one day and quit this band in such a rock and roll way. He got up on stage, hadn't fucking told anyone, not the other band members, not even his wife, and in their last song, just got up to the mic and went, "This is my swan song." And that's really rock and roll, like, fuck yous all, I'm done. You know? Must have been shite being another part of the band, just being like, what the fuck am I meant to do now? How am I meant to put on a good performance when this is the expectation we've set? You know? So yeah, Mike Peters gets up and quits the band on stage. Now, Dad, who loved this band, was heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken. You know? And Dad expressed his heartbreak in the only way he knew how. He wrote about it in his fanzine. Now, if you don't know what a fanzine is, if you're too young, because I'm too young to know what a fanzine is basically a fan-made magazine which was distributed independently by fans of the magazine, fans of the band. And Dad had a fanzine for the Alarm in which he wrote a scathing report on Mike Peters' contribution to the band and to music. And kind of the most pathetic thing about all this, right, is that Mike Peters at some point saw that article that Dad wrote, and he wasn't annoyed, wasn't even upset. He just thinks my dad's a bit of a dick. Like, imagine pouring your heart into something so wholeheartedly that you feel so angry that you have to write it down, and the person you write it about just dismisses it as, well, you're a bit of a knob. It's fucking great. But even past that, that means that my father was basically a 13-year-old K-pop fan on Tumblr, except it's worse than that, because not only did Dad lose his shit when the band broke up, sitting writing articles through tears of that his favourite band had broken up, and he didn't just get to write this on the internet and let it be forgotten within the realms of useless shit on the internet. No, Dad had to go print this out and distribute it to all his mates, which is fucking pathetic, right? And the one main reason why I will never respect my father's opinion about music is that when I say my dad's into music and he's made it a hugely important part of his life, and that he was into punk back in the day, you might think, I've instantly thought that my dad plays guitar, the kind of cool person's instrument, you know? And you'd be wrong. You might think, well, Alex, if you said that he doesn't play guitar, he must play something like bass guitar, you know? It's not as cool as guitar, but like it's an integral part of the band, and you would be wrong. You might think, well, Alex, you clearly have a very low opinion of your father, which means he's the drummer, the percussionist of a band. You know, the person who just gets to hit things hard and go, right? No. My father plays the accordion. The accordion, the pinnacle of the musical instrument. It's the least punk thing I can think of in my life, right? Instead of being something you can smash against walls and really stick it to the man, my dad plays the instrument that fucking cartoon pirates played in Peter Pan, and he thinks that I'm going to give a flying fuck about his opinion on music. You are wrong, Dad. You are wrong.